Hello, thank you for coming and thank you for being an attendee to this wonderful event as Microsoft Teams Nations. So, who am I? I'm Estelle Auberix. I'm an entrepreneur, mentor at MS for Startup. I'm an architect solution specialized in cloud, edge cloud, cybersecurity, and IoT. I just created a new company, which is Yokela, and this is a human-centric innovation agency. As my hobby, I really like robots and quantum computing. There's no link between these two passions, but I really like them. So today we're going to see how Microsoft you can empower your project management with Microsoft Teams and Azure DevOps. So, as an entrepreneur, I have a startup approach, which is for early stage startups, generally used as the famous quick and dirty methods. But it is to develop a project quickly without it being completely successful to test it. In big companies or other innovative sectors, there could be a similar approach to push innovative projects. First, like early stage startup, people don't have any budget or small one, and they need to create a prototype or a proof of concept in order to get money from their management. But I'm not so young, so I can't. I'm not able to work as dirty. So I try to work as quick and clean. And to do quick and clean now, I have to think out of the box. And to think out of the box, it's to find some very cheapest solution and quickest solution in order to innovate and to be able to provide a prototype of proof of concept to my clients. So there's a famous Gardner Model. So it was presented in 2016. And at first you have upstream the design thinking, to properly define the framework, to understand the problem, and imagine and test initial solutions. I used to work to begin with all my clients with the design thinking, because this is the best way to know what the client or what the customers really needs. And all innovation could be successful when they are based on the needs of the final user. Just after, I used to use the Lean Startup method, which takes over to transform solutions into business model and define the development plans. The main difference with Lean Startup and the big companies method, as a startup, we are beginning with the needs of the client and not with the capacities that we will have. We just have, because we don't have any capacities in early stage. So, but now a lot of my clients from big companies are beginning to think like that, because they have to adapt themselves very quickly to the market. So they try to adopt some startup methods. And finally, it was in 2016. This was the agile method, which was mobilized to develop and deliver the product and functionalities that will have been defined in the previous steps. But with the DevOps operation, more recently, we have another way to work in comparison of the agile. So this slide, we can see the difference between the agile DevOps and now the CICD method. So small or large companies increasingly need for speed and velocity and cutting-edge DevOps technology and processes. So when discussing the fundamental change brought about by DevOps, we tend to focus on the few roles. So the people writing the code, the people provisioning and supporting infrastructure, and the people testing and doing Q&A. Not Q&A, but QA quality. In the age of DevOps, IT project manager must plan differently and have to do more than adjust to the time dimension. So they have to create integrated plans that account for unplanned work, because in DevOps or CICD, we never know in which problem we're going to be in front of. They have the PM has to ensure that the feedback from testing, staging, and deployment to real customer is being used to replan. So in Azure we have to go over, but in DevOps mindset and in CI/CD we can roll back easier rather than in agile method. And the PM has to find ways to break large projects into chunks that enable the business to get incremental value. So that's why we generally use microservices, because it's a good way to isolate each function or each answer of needs for the clients. The project management can be done with Teams, because Teams is a collaboration solution which allows to chat, organize groups and meetings, call or collaborate online by sharing the screen or the files. But Teams, it's much more through some add-on apps which can be integrated, and we are going to see in the demo a few examples. So the PM are pretty confident with MS Teams, and as in my mindset, I have to always focus on human. So what I learned in my experience that is when you want to change a lot of habits of your clients or of your users, you're going to lose them, and it's very dangerous. So as a PM, it's confidence with MS Teams. I used to propose MS Teams to the project manager. But generally, the tech leads are more confident with Azure DevOps, because they're used to use TFS before Azure DevOps, and with the Team Foundation services, they already has some habits with them. So DevOps is also often managed by a tech lead, and this is sometimes not the PM. But the most important in DevOps, it's about tiger alignment and collaboration among one siloed role. So continuous measurement of all things important to the project is key, as tightly coupled collaboration. So that includes, or should include, the standardizing on the tool chain. That's why when your PM used to want to use MS Teams, it doesn't want to use Azure DevOps, and your DevOps doesn't want to use MS Teams because he is more comfortable with Azure DevOps, and there's more functionalities useful for him in Azure DevOps. So we're going to let them with their favorite tools, and to use Teams as a hub for the whole team, and in order to have a global vision of the project. So continuous measurement of all things is important to the project. And as we saw in the comparisons previously between Agile and DevOps, the PM was not essential in the entire Agile cycle, because in Agile, you have to do the cycle. So the PM can control at the beginning and at the end of the circle, but all around in the circle, is not the presence of the PM or the control of the PM. It's not really necessary, but as in Azure, in DevOps, we have a continuous delivery. The PM has to be to know the whole time what's happened in order to have the quick reaction or to take a quick decision in case of problems. So I'm going to use the words of Ronald Reagan, which is trust but verify. So when you are in PM and you manage a team, you have to trust your team because it's necessary to go quickly. But that is not bad because you trust them that you don't have to verify the job. So I use MS Teams because it's a hub for the whole teamwork. It's free with when you have a Microsoft 365 license, and it's very simple to understand in comparison with MS Project. A few years ago, I used MS Project, but it's like a Word or Excel. It's a huge product, and generally you use only 5 or 10% of the capacities of the software, and MS Project is license paid over than Microsoft 365. So as a startup, I have to save my money, and even when I'm working with big companies, I'm working with department, and they want to save their money too. So they don't want to buy more license if they don't have them. So, and most of the time, I'm working in the day in the ideation and innovation steps with my client. So I share my knowledges with the project owner, and that's why I'm generally at the beginning of the project for the prototype of the proof of the concept, and where they launch the project, I'm going to share my knowledge and to be as a support, but I'm going to let the project step by step, and at the end they are going to finish alone without any help or only advices or consulting during few times of the project. So another benefits of MS Teams is that it can be integrated with Azure DevOps, and this is the subject of this session. So Azure DevOps integrates integration with Teams. We are going to see. Oh, sorry, this is not the right slide. So you are going to see the demo in order to well understand what I mean. So I prepared a quick demonstration with a sample case, and you can see you can install it very quickly through this website, which is Azure DevOps demo generator. And you're going in order to be able to install a website, you have to have an Azure subscription in order to have Azure DevOps to have access to Azure DevOps. So when you have your Azure subscription, so you have to have your M365 subscription for Teams and an Azure subscription, and then you can deploy an example. So when you want to deploy, you have to create a project. You have few examples, and as it takes a few minutes, I won't do it with you directly, but I'm showing you the screen, the screenshot of the steps. So you have to select your organization to to name your new project and to select the template what you want. As template, you have this kind of templates. So the general templates are global solution or practical solution. Then you also have DevOps Lab templates, which can on which you can going to show you the interface. So I'm going to change my screen. Can you see my screen now?
It's loading.
Okay.
Not yet. Can you just try to reshare? Okay, here we go.
You have them? Okay.
Yep.
So I'm going to connect to the DevOps Lab, DevOps demo generator. Okay. So it's a in the demo generator, so you can sign in. I'm going to be in the big screen. Okay. So that's why you can select your project, your organization, and select a template. And with a template, you have some practical use case. But there's some of them are old, but you can have access to the source on GitHub, and you can modify them, fork them, and modify them if you need. In the DevOps Lab, you can also deploy the Terraform sample, Ansible sample, Docker, Octopus, SonarQube, and the Python sample. It's an example of Django website that you can deploy. So you have some module used in MS Learn that you can deploy in if you want to follow the exercise. You have some example provided by Azure community, some example about the cloud adoption. That's very quick sample, and you also can create your own sample. Either by if you fork them through GitHub, or if you find them in another in an URL, or either if it's your own sample. So that's why. So I deployed this sample, the Tailwind trailers, and in Azure DevOps that look like that. When you just have deployed it, you have a message and you receive an email which tell you that the operation was a success, and then in your Azure DevOps you can find your project. So you have it in overview. What is important, interesting for this session, it's that I don't have to show you my client project because they are under NDA. It's an innovation project, so I really can't share that with you. But I have a sample with some data, with some boards, and with some action that we will be able to see them in Teams. That's what we have the repo. I already linked them with GitHub, and are also forked in GitHub. We have a test plan. It's if I sometimes as the example is a little old, there's some broken links, so that's why sometimes the test plan or the pipeline can't run. So you just have to go in the pipeline and to see where the problem is, and that's a good exercise to do without creating a whole project from scratch. So we have in one side the Azure DevOps interface, and I'm going to open the Teams with the project. So when you have your Azure DevOps, so I already created the example, but I'm going to show you how to do. So when you have, sorry, I'm just reorganizing myself, so I'm going to hide that. So when you have your Azure DevOps project, you can create a new team, create a team from scratch, and you're going to create it as private and like any team. So I already did it with the demo Tailwind traders. So I had the general channel, I did the design channel, the ideation channel, and the technical channel because I used to work like that. But you can use your own method if you don't like that. In the general channel, so as any Teams any Teams project, you can share your files. So, but I used to have the task because it's like the command method. So I can add some tags, but not technical tasks, because the technical task I'm going to get them directly from Azure DevOps, from the board. But in general, I used to put the tags, the non-technical tags, and I also used to add the project map, which is general. It's an example, but it's a link. Okay, it's connected. So in the project map, it's like that. So it's like a mind map, but with in a timeline and with the whole task that we were going to have. In my method of work, it's I think it's a good it's a good way to have a global view of the timeline of the project and of the roadmap too. And I also used to add okay. So and I in the general, I also used to add the demo board like this one that we have. So you have the whole work item here, and you have them in the demo board. So, and to put that, it's really easy. You just have to click on your channel and to click on the connector. So you will see which connectors are already activated. So you can see that Azure DevOps it's already activated. But if it's not, you just have to search it. For example, pipeline already activated on the other channel. So if you don't see it here, you just have to search it and to activate it in this section. So in the Azure DevOps, you just have to configure it. So to select your account, your organization. So this is the organization in Azure DevOps. The project name, which is, for example, demo Tailwind traders here. The teams. So the team, because maybe you can have different teams, one for the website. If you have some other project, maybe the front end and the back end, maybe you want to isolate the jobs. So you will have front end teams and back end teams. So you can choose any team you want. So I choose the whole team of the project, and you're going to so I'm going to add a new dashboard. So, but I'm not sure that there are some elements. So I took the work item updated, but maybe I can select the code push if I want a dashboard with a code push. I'm going to choose the repository if this is the back end of the website, or either it could be the whole project. I can choose the branch. It's the master. If you generally you can have you can have the branch as a dev, as the test, and the deploy, or you can have some faults, and so you have the whole shows that you want. So I'm going to save. So you can see it's really easy. And in the post, you're going to have your chatbot, which tell you that you already did it. So, and generally, when you deploy, you connect an app through a connector with MS Teams. You're going to have a chatbot as an like an interlocutor. So, I did it like that, but you also can do like that. You can ask for Azure. For example, Azure DevOps, and you can say that you want to subscribe. Subscribe. Okay. And you want to subscribe, and you can add directly your channel like that if you don't want to click everywhere. So that's the quickest way to do when you already know the path that you can do. In the design teams, I generally share for example, I put a prototype. So it's a good way to share your prototype like that. So it's a prototype made with Adobe XD. So I can click on it and navigate in my prototype, and I can add my comment. So that's easy because in this way of work, I can share everything with my team, and they don't have to go to the Adobe to the website in order to see my prototype, in order to add my comment. This is why I say that Teams is a really hub. In the ideation, I used to add the design thinking map. So this is also I'm working with Klaxon, so I'm used to have the design thinking Klaxon dashboard. So the whole team can add and interact with the Klaxon dashboard, and I also can share the mind map and everything. So. And with the technical team, I'm going to interact with Azure DevOps, and then I generally put the dashboard in general because it's the whole team have to see the dashboard. But in the technical, it's I'm going to connect with the how to connect, for example, pipeline the pipeline. So I'm going to select the connector. Looking for the pipeline. I don't know if I already okay. Azure. I already have it. This first time that I don't see the pipeline. I'm going to see if I already, yes. To say, I did. I don't know why I didn't see it in the connector, but as I see it here, that means that I already connected it with it. So with the pipeline, I'm going to. So it's already connected. So I'm going to choose which pipeline I'm going to connect. So I'm going to subscribe, and here I need to put the URL of my pipeline. So that will be this one. And I hope I was really signing. So just a tips. At the beginning, I saw that if I selected my bot like that and open a chat, I could directly wrote my script directly, but it doesn't work. It doesn't. The bot doesn't work in a direct chat. So my pipeline. So I already sign in, because if I wasn't, it couldn't be green like that. That means that I'm already signed in the C. And what I say, I'm going to check if I sign. Azure Pipeline. Okay, I'm going to test it in the general. I think I've got a problem because it doesn't. It's like it recognizes that I'm already sign on, but I'm not really connected with it. No, I think that the bot is not. I'm going to create a new team in order to test it. Okay. So here we're going to connect the pipeline. Oh. Okay, that's Teams. But generally, you can create some script in order to deploy directly your Teams with the right channel and the right apps and the right connectors. But I wanted to do it manually in order to create my demo. And now I'm adding program on program. No. Let's understand the team. Okay, so I'm going to create once again. If it doesn't work, I'm going to take the plain B demo. Okay. So yeah. Yes, you can. You can't add Azure Pipeline if Azure DevOps is not connected. That's totally normal because pipeline is a part of Azure DevOps. So when you connected your Azure DevOps, you connect it and you have to configure it like that. So I'm going to select my value in demo, wind. I'm going to choose that and doesn't matter. Okay, so we can see that it has configured once, and then I'm going to connect Azure Pipe. Okay, so if it's not a connector, maybe it's when you don't see it in the connector, you're going to see it in the apps. So so Azure Pipeline in the apps, you have to open and to add your team. For example, this one is Timo. That was the last one that I created. So I set up the bot. So now the Azure Pipeline is already connected. So I'm going to select it like that. I'm going to subscribe my URL, my pipeline. So you have to select your pipeline to copy this URL, and then the bot is going to reply me and to say that it's connected. So I already have the Azure Pipeline subscription. So it's simple like that. So I'm sorry, I had some problems. So that's and in the pipeline you can get notification, and sometimes when you are a PM, you don't want to have the whole notification because it's going to be a lot of messages, and you just want to be aware when there's some problem. So we're going to create to ask to the bot to warn us only when there's something to get notification only when the build failed, for example. So we're going to, this is a pipeline that we already saw there. But this is, so we just check it. So when you use filters, so I have the subscription and I want to manage my subscription. So I'm going to call my subscription. Okay. Okay, so in this case, this bot, so I can have the subscription, but I'm going to, I just want to see the subscription I already have. So in this case, I'm going to add one. So I'm going to ask when the build is complete. I'm going to choose in the pipeline this pipeline, and the build status is I just want to be warned when it's failed. So I submit, and it's okay. So now when a build is going to fail, like that, I'm going to run the pipeline. It's going to fail normally. And I should, so this, so I'm going to get a message when the build is will fail. That's one. In another interaction, that's why I just received the message, so it's almost real time. And what is also real time, it's for example, when you have the board, you have the task. So I had my board like that. So for example, so it's the presentation is in the Kanban presentation. So I had new, active, and resolve. And for example, I take it as active, and like this is me that I did the action. It's already assigned to me. And if I refresh my Azure DevOps interaction, I can see that the task that I just moved is already updated in the both interfaces. So that's why you can do a lot of things. I'm sorry because I can see the times flying. So you can you can. I'm going to share again my slide in order to show you the link. And if you have any question, do not hesitate to unmute. I'm going to share again my slide. Tell me when you can see it.
Yep, you can see it.
Okay, cool. So it was when it's already deployed, you have this kind of messages. And so to go further, I shared with you 4 links which seems to me very important. So the first one is getting started with Azure DevOps in MS Learn. The second one is the learning path, because you can see that I already opened that. the pages. So I was opening them. No, okay. So if so this one is very important because this is a whole learning page. It's certainly a dedicated website to Azure DevOps. The third link is if you want to recreate the labs that I partially presented to you. So you will have the step-by-step action to connect your Azure DevOps, your pipeline, and how to choose your board and so on. And the fourth link, the last one, it's important. I think it's also an important link because I didn't have time to, but it's a link to explain you how to integrate GitHub with MS Teams. And I think this is important because in MS Teams, you're going to share your file, but the technical file are better in the GitHub repository. Because in this case you can interact directly with them in Azure DevOps. Also, if you have an open source project or project with support of in open source and a part with your local dev teams, you can isolate your source like that. So I think this is also an important link. So if you have any question, do not hesitate. I'm going to stay connected to the chat if because I think that there will be another session just after. And do not hesitate to contact me directly on the social network if you need help or if you have any question. And I really hope that despite the problem in my demo, you will be curious, or you will have you will want to work with MS Teams and Azure DevOps in a DevOps project. So you can rate my session, and thank you very much. Do not hesitate if you have any question.